Hello everybody, I'm Jumbo. Welcome back to Let's Play Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. And so in the last episode, we wandered around aimlessly for a bit and made myself look like an idiot. And now we are here at where we're supposed to be. And we gotta fight a Guardian boss fight in order to get the last remaining upgrade that we're missing from the Guardians. And so we can just, so that way we can just go right ahead and continue on with the game. And in the last episode, I ended off by talking about some more about my history with the series and my opinions on each of the games. But first, welcome to another sub-Guardian boss fight that is at least not as bad as the Spider Guardian, but it's not a fun boss fight. And yeah, it's one of these things. Holy crap. And since this thing is a creature that launches power bombs, and according to Metroid Other M, those things are disgusting. Those things are like nukes. And like, yeah, so you just hit it with the morph ball, hit each of these 4 switches with the morph ball bomb, and like you use it to attack him. Hey. But it doesn't really feel like you attack him, you know what I mean? It's just not a very... It's a short boss fight, but it's not a satisfying one. And it also kind of begs the question, it's like, oh man, these things... Oh man, power bombs are like stupid strong, and according to Metroid Other M, they're basically nukes. And you're forbidden from using them until you beat that game. Like, the game... Like, Adam forbids you from using power bombs like ever, and you can't use them until you beat the game because Adam, he'd be dead. Hey, god damn it! Like, okay, do I shoot him in order to, or do I just? I don't know. Like, there are playthroughs where I have just avoided him on purpose, like purposefully avoided the bombs, and yeah, that's okay. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and test that theory. Oh no, you actually cannot hurt him. You actually can't stun him. So basically, you just have to rely on luck in order to win this fight. Like I said, really boring boss fight, but it's not the worst in the world. At least we only have like one more, and also these Inglets. Inglings, will you shut your mouth? Stop firing those bombs in my face. Alright, come on. Blow him up. There we go. You just go ahead and shock him, but how he actually dies? Oopsie boopsie. That's like the fastest death animation for a boss fight in this entire game. Alright, oh yeah, so I ended the last episode talking about Metroid Prime corruption, and I was basically like, yeah, fuck. I didn't really say anything, but like that game in the trilogy, I'm gonna be saying this again. That game set the precedent for the Metroid Prime trilogy. It had it had fantastic controls. Like, the control scheme is perfect for that kind of game, even though it kind of shoves a lot of motion controls down your throat. I also noticed that Metroid Prime 1 and 2 on the Wii do not use motion controls. Except for flicking the Wii remote up, but you just use your pointer for everything, and it makes the aiming so much better. Okie dokie. So now we can go ahead and blow these up. Yay! And you're probably just thinking, oh man, that was such an obnoxious drag to just have to go right ahead and have to backtrack all the way from one temple to the other. But here, it's not that bad because there's actually a shortcut we can go ahead and take. So wait. Wait, hang on. Can I? Is there a portal I can do? Yes. Oh, swiggity swag. I also realized that you can also do a very quick shortcut. So Metroid Prime 3 has the best gameplay, has excellent gameplay, and it helps set the precedent for the Metroid Prime trilogy of its control scheme, of having the same control scheme as Metroid Prime 3. And it's made these games so much better, and also like the higher resolution also helps. And like the Morph Ball jump, it doesn't break the other games. It just makes puzzles easier. That's really all to say about that, I'm pretty sure. But it is the first Metroid game to have voice acting, and it also has like, it's also like the least explorative in terms of its exploration. It is the worst of the Prime trilogy, but it makes up for the fact by having way better pacing than Metroid Prime 2, at least. And yeah, again, it is like the first. Ah, dang! I used up all my power bombs. Shit. Maybe I can get some more somewhere, please. Thank you very much. I'd very much like to have power bomb ammo. Okay. Yeah, I can't go in there, so there's no point going that way. So I think I can go this way. And then after Metroid Prime 3 was the Metroid Prime trilogy, so that doesn't count. Like, come on, let me sequence break a little bit, game. That doesn't really count because it's just like a recreation of the original Prime trilogy, just with better controls and just a bit of added bells and whistles. It's not like these games have like super bosses or anything. It's like that has. Okay, well, I can't do that one puzzle I was hoping I could do, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go back to Sanctuary Fortress. But it takes you back super fast through here because there is actually a I only set down one bomb, and yeah, it's like, yeah, okay, you passed. That statue looks like something. It looks like, oh sweet, missile expansion. I forgot that was there. And I also forgot I need power bombs, so I'm just gonna go ahead and kill these things. So then there was other M, which is like heavily considered. Wait, what? Wait, where'd he go? There was a dark blog here. It's like, wait, where'd he go? Are you serious? Did the game kill him off? Alright, hang on. I'm gonna go ahead and hunt for some ammo. So, BRB. Okay, I'm back. I managed to get my hands on some ammo because of some seed bursters that decided to show up. So, he's good. He's all good. And also got some health back. Wait, why am I... Get back in there. Oh yeah, so more Metroid games. Metroid Prime... No, wait, there's Metroid Prime. No, there's nothing else. Metroid Other M. That's like the most hated game in the franchise by far. Like, everybody hates that game, and it's like one of those games where it's just like, yeah, we know. It's like DMC Devil May Cry. Like, everybody hates this game, and they're like, yeah, this game was the reason that Metroid is not popular anymore, because like everybody bandwagoned and hated on it because of how stupid the story is and how it like changed Samus and made her so unlikable. Like, yeah, like the gameplay of Other M is actually not that bad. It's actually a pretty fun game, assuming you can get used to the controls, because the controls are like, it takes a lot of time to get used to the controls. But yeah, if you can get into the controls, it's a fun experience. It's like, I remember a friend of mine asking me, it's like, hey, what if they made God of War? what if they made a Metroid game that was basically God of War? I'm like, they did. It's called Metroid Other M. And like, I have a couple issues with that game. Like, yeah, the D-pad controls are stupid, and it's like, it is not a it's pretty much a Metroid game in name only, because like it's the most story-driven. It is the most story-driven game in the franchise, and yeah, a lot of people find that to be extremely annoying, which is completely fair. Like, because but like people complain about the story because like it's heavily story focused, and also because the story is just so goddamn bad. Wait, is there an enemy down there? Oh, yeah, you need to scan this thing. This is a mini boss fight that you can that you have to fight later on, and that's the only that is like the only time you can actually fight that thing. Scan it, I mean. So you're gonna want to scan that as soon as possible. It's just like the ow. Like, yeah, the story is just dumb. It's just like Star Wars Attack of the Clones level of stupid in terms of its plot. Give or take how stupid that Other M's story would be just as stupid as as dumb as Attack of the fucking Clones. And then there's like, I like the gameplay of Other M, like, and the boss fights are really fun. Like, it's got the gameplay's fun if you can get into it, and it looks really good. It's the best looking game in the series visually. Not by much, but it's still good visually. Ooh, yeah. Wait, who's shooting me? How dare you? I was in the middle of observing something. Get out. Get out of my house. Also, this. I thought that hurt you, but I guess it doesn't. What about Other M am I trying to say about it as well? Like, this is not me defending the game. I admit it's sort of a guilty pleasure. But if I wanted to play a Metroid game, that is not the first game I would jump to. It would be the Prime Trilogy, because I adore those games. Other M, I loved it when I was younger. I sort of like it now, still, but I don't like it as much as I used to. Because I'm like, yeah, the story is stupid, and it's also like, the game... Metroid is well known for its, yeah, and it's also Dark Ink Smashers. Yeah, the story is just unbelievably stupid. Alright, come on. I'm going to destroy you. Ow. Alright, come on. I'm trying to focus. I'm just like, keep losing my train of thought. I don't do it on purpose, I swear, I promise. Alright, can I skip this cutscene? It appears I cannot. Okay. Yeah, this is the thing. And Metroid Other M also has unskippable cutscenes. Like, that's actually not true. They are, first time on your first playthrough, yes, this cutscenes are unskippable. So, if you decide to play the game again, then you can skip the cutscenes. Second time playing through, because like, those cutscenes are so long. Yeah, there's like one cutscene near the end of the game where you meet Madeline Bergman. And that cutscene dragged on for like 20 minutes, and I remember playing that cutscene, and the power went out when I was in the middle of watching it, and I was like, no! I'm gonna watch all that nonsense again. And it's like, yeah, bad story, bad acting, and it's like, got horrible pacing, and it's like, a lot of the logic in that game with Adam and his authorization mechanic does not make any sense. So it's like, yeah, it's a really stupid game. Alright. And like, it's like this is one thing I feel that a lot of people like. You could watch Josh Scorcher and Autark Flames opinion video of that game, and like, yeah, my opinion, I can echo their opinions. Basically, I have the exact same opinions on that game as they do. There was one thing about their and like, yeah, the Ridley scene in particular is so dumb and it makes no sense. But at least the fight with Ridley, the actual fight with Ridley, is amazing. That is such a cool that is such an awesome fight. But like, you gotta give it this. The gameplay is fun if you can get into it. Like I said before, gameplay is really fun if you can get into it, and yeah, that's about it. It looks good, and a lot of the designs are a lot of the enemy designs are really cool, and the boss fights are awesome. Except for the Metroid Queen boss fight. That's a shit boss fight. There we go. And the fight with Melissa MB, if you even qualify that as a boss fight, it is a shitty boss fight. Yeah. And then yeah. So yeah, Other M, not a bad game, but it's not a good game either. That's basically my whole stance on it. Loved it when I was younger. I like it fine. Nowadays, do I want to go down there just yet? Yeah, no, well, let's go ahead and do that. So you need the power bomb in order to blow this up. This takes you to another section. Oh, I was confused as to why the music stopped. And then, of course, there was a huge Metroid drought for like 5-6 years, maybe. That's like, oh, that's why. Like, I don't remember the whole deal as to why Metroid. Yeah, you guys should just ignore any background noise you hear. Like, I'm just trying to go ahead and not get distracted. Oh, where's this taking you? Oh, it's a shortcut to Aegon Waste, so we're not gonna do that just yet. That was a waste of time. I'm sorry I wasted you guys' time. But then we got Metroid Prime Federation Force, and that is... No, I think Metroid Other M is like... It's like, oh, you guys hated Other M? Well, you're gonna like it after we show off this game. I hear the game was fine, but... Oh, you're not gonna come back online? I ignored you on purpose, and like, I'm just gonna ignore you forever then. Like, I saw that, and I was like, oh my god, are you serious? Like... That game is like one of the most heavily garnered like some of the most hate that Nintendo has ever gotten from any of their reveal trailers. Like, I was like, oh my god, this cannot be real. This is not. It's like, I was like, okay, very funny, Nintendo. Where's the real Metroid? Where's the real Metroid reveal? And like, oh, that was it. It was like a 59-second long trailer. And like, everybody and their grandmother was super pissed about it, and like, yeah, I was mad about that. I'm like, well, I want a real Metroid game. I don't want this baby shit. Yeah, Other M was fine. Federation Force was disappointing. But my thoughts on that game, I have not played it. I don't have that game. I remember a friend of mine was like, yeah, the game's not that bad, the atmosphere is good, and then later I was like, hey, mind if I buy it off of you? He's like, I have it digital, and plus, that game is shit. It was like, he did like a complete 180 on that game, and it's hilarious. Yeah, I have not played that game, and it's like the only Metroid game I can think of that I have never owned. It is the only Metroid game I have not owned in my life. Okay, so... No, okay. Alright. Swiggity swag. Then there's, yeah, so then that's like, the last Metroid game is like, everybody and their grandmother was like super mad about that. I think some Call Me Johnny says, like, yeah, the game's fine if you play with friends. It's pretty boring if you play by yourself. Like, who am I gonna get to who am I gonna be able to ask to play that game with me? Especially since nobody uses their 3DS anymore, since the 3DS is practically dead. I will probably get that game only for the sake of my collection. But I have no desire to play it. It's like even though, fuck. Alright, stopwatch. What do I have? Oh, it's the end of the episode, so I'm gonna have to go hunt for even more power bombs. Alright, so you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode here and hunt for power bombs, and we'll do one more episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Take care.